and gentlemen, the management of this theater takes great pleasure in making this announcement. To each lady attending this theater each week, you'll receive absolutely free a fascinating 12-piece kitchen cutlery set, one piece each time. It is really interesting and amazing to know how you can prepare your meals in an appetizing and pleasing manner. There's an old saying, and a true one, that what is pleasing to the eye is bound to be pleasing to the appetite. I'm going to demonstrate this set to you, and I want you to watch it very closely. The first cutter that I'm going to show you, now this first one is known as the Parisian cutter. Wind it through the potato like a corkscrew. When the cutter appears on the opposite side, pull the cutter out. Place the handle in the center and twist it out. This is what they call a French curl. When you fry these, they come out like donuts, nice and brown. Serve them with your steaks or pot roast them. Unwind it, there's two curls out of the one potato. Tomorrow morning for breakfast, wind a little strip of bacon around the potato and serve them with bacon and eggs. They're delicious. Different colored vegetables, wind them together and you get the two colors. Here's a little trick cut. Split the curl halfway through the center. If you're making a shrimp salad and you happen to run short of shrimp, mix these in with the regular shrimp. Upon my word, you couldn't tell the difference until you start to eat them. Now the rest of the potato, you stuff it. We'll call this a little chicken. We'll call this here some hamburger. You might have a little meat that's been laying in the ice box for a few days. Chop the meat up fine, season it highly, stuff it into the center of the potato and bake them with the skins on. When they're done, cut them in two. Serve them on the half shell, just like that. Serve them in slices when company calls. The more company you have, the thinner you cut the slices. If your mother-in-law calls, give her a beak piece like that. Now the second tool in the set is known as the garnishing knife. Everything you cut with this must come out fancy. Watch this, please. You cut down, you turn the potato, and then you cut through the edge. First one way and then the other. Sweet potatoes cut like this, drop them into a little batter of pancake flour and fry them. When they're golden brown, sprinkle molasses on them. Serve them with strips of bacon for breakfast while they're delicious. Here's beets, you pickle them, and carrots, you steam or cream them. In making the original French fried potato, cut them in thick slices. Put them one on top of each other. Cross-cut the slices and you'll never eat a French fry any other way. The potatoes cut like this will not absorb the fat because they're garnished around. Pineapples cut for your pineapple and cheese salad, cut them the same way. Here is one, and this is a dandy. Cuts any thickness or any size. Open it for a thick slice, close to the top for a thin slice. Saratoga chips, you can make them for 3 or 4 pennies a pound. Just pull the blade towards you like this. If you want the slices thicker than this, open the blade, there's a thick slice. Shoestrings for your Friday fish dinner, cut them down like this. Chop them up for your vegetable soup. What this knife is really intended for is for cutting the cabbage. You know the old-fashioned board, how you rip and tear, sometimes nipping the ends off your fingers. Lay it flat and pull it lightly towards you over the cabbage. The weight of the knife across the cabbage is all that's necessary. Why, ladies, when you get slaw cut as fine as this, you'll certainly appreciate eating it. The crowning feature of the set is the cutter that I'm going to show you now. This is known as the Champeen Vegetable Mincing Knife and Noodle Cutter. Now, when you want to make some real fine noodles at home, you roll the dough out like this. Dip this into a little flour so it doesn't stick to the dough, and as you roll it over the dough, that will cut the noodles in long strips, 10 at a time. Did you ever try to chop up a little nuts for cake? Why, I've seen ladies chop nuts and the nuts land up on the ceiling. Sometimes you chop the ends off your fingers when you want to chop up a little nuts for cake, cooked meat, clams for chowder, soup greens to throw into your soup. Making a little pepper or chicken hash is just a few strokes rolling it up and down. Why, here is without a doubt the meanest thing in the world to cut parsley. Put that in a grinder, you really grind it too fine. This machine, instead of crushing the parsley, cuts it quick, clean, and dry, leaving every bit of the juice and every bit of the flavor. Now, to clean this machine, you press the button. Rinse it out in a little water. When you're through using it, hang it up and let it dry. Here's one here that every lady should have in her home, known as the Parisian scoop. You lay it flat, once to the right, once to the left. When you scoop them out, you'll get a perfect round little ball. You can pot roast these, cut them out of cheese or cut them out of butter. When you're serving a fruit cocktail in the summertime, take your fresh cantaloupe, scoop them out like this, mix them with apples, pears, and watermelons, makes a delicious fruit cocktail served with a little cracked ice like you see here. But here is a tool, ladies, if you ever do get it, you'll thank the day you've seen this demonstration. When you press, it locks. It's like a pair of human hands. Reach in the oven and take the biscuits out of the oven. Ever take the hot potatoes out of the oven and burn yourself on the elbow? A roast chicken out of the oven, a piece of meat out of the pot, spinach, asparagus out of the water. Why, around canning season, when you're preserving the fruits, to take the hot fruit jars out of the water like that, that machine is worth dollars to you. And here's another one that I really know you'll enjoy having in your kitchen, known as the safety grater. No doubt you're familiar with the old-fashioned grater. I've seen ladies take a grater and rip the knuckles off. When you want to grate up potatoes for delicious potato pancakes, this has a smooth, flat edge, impossible to cut yourself. Just like you were washing clothes, you rub it up and down, and you really grate your vegetables real fine, retaining all the flavors and all the juices. Breadcrumbs for when you're serving veal cutlets or anything like that. You want a little breadcrumbs to fry your fish in? Why, there's the greatest proposition in the world. Use that for coconut, cheese, or horseradish. When you're through with it, just hit it down like that. That knocks all the food out. Rinse it out in a little water and hang it up and let it dry. Now, here is a stone made of carborundum and sapphire quartz, which is made purposely to keep these knives sharp. When they get dull, a few strokes over the edge like this, and you can put a keen cutting edge on it. If you have a dull knife or a dull pair of scissors, an old sickle or a scythe, a lawnmower, cleaver, an axe, there's a tool that will really put an edge on the knife, so the knife will really cut for you. I just want to give you an idea of how sharp that knife really is when you sharpen it with that stone. Ladies, I've seen some of you try to open up cans. Now, there's a can of Campbell's baked beans. I've seen ladies open up a can and you poke a hole in it, go round the top, hippity-hop, and your finger slips. Let me show you a real proposition. Look, lay it on the can, lift up the safety, and turn the key. That locks itself on the can. No harder than you were winding up your watch. Wind up the key and that'll cut the top off of the can slick and smooth. Notice how the end raises itself up in the air so you can lift the lid off, giving you a clean, smooth edge. Now, that can be used for sardine cans, square cans, or round cans, exactly the same way. Now, this tool here, my dear friends, needs no introduction. This will save you on an average of $20 to $30 every year you use it as a peeling knife. Here's a grater for cheese, coconut, or horseradish, a fish scaler for scaling your fish, and when you're coring your apple, it's just a slight twist of the wrist, and there's the apple core. There's one more tool that I want you to see, and I want you to watch this one very closely. Many a times when you're baking a pie, you have a pudding in the oven, I've seen ladies wrap a towel around your hand, and many a times you burn your fingers. Hook this onto the pot like this and lift the hot pots off the top of the stove. You've got a pie pan in the oven? Catch a hold of the pie pan like this. Why, you couldn't get it off with a team of horses. This will positively lift 100 pounds. There's a pail of water weighs 50 or 60 pounds. That's the way you pick it up. But there's one more tool. I'll be all through and I'll be finished. Oh, now the next tool and the last one is what they call the Sarah Bernhardt cutter. This was invented by the head chef of the Imperial Hotel in the city of Berlin, Germany. You place the screw into the center of the vegetable. Twist the vegetable until the threads catch a hold, then you wind this up. You keep winding until you utilize the whole potato. The faster you turn, the quicker the slices. Why, ladies, here's a machine for slicing onions. The first onion that you slice with this cutter, you'll bless the day you've got a hold of it. Every slice cut exactly the same thickness. Every slice cut the same size. In making what they call a rosette, pull the vegetable out like this. Pin the ends together with a toothpick. Drop that potato into the hot fat and fry it. That will come out like a donut, golden brown. If you're serving a nice fish dinner, a little parsley goes in the center with the fish all around it. Makes a very appetizing dish. Did you ever try to slice onions with a knife? You know how you get one thick slice and one thin slice? Run the knife through the center. That will separate each slice individual. Almost like magic, there is every slice cut exactly the same thickness and the same size. Wouldn't you like to have a set like this in your kitchen? Why, of course you would. Now don't forget, attend this theater every week and receive this 12...
Hello, everyone. Lovely. How is everyone tonight? Complaining about the mute icon there, which I had to turn off. Welcome in, welcome in. Hey, Nan Reader. Have had a pork shoulder in the stove, or in the oven, for, 4.5 hours now? It's looking quite lovely. Put it in there just right around noon. So, that's going all ready for tonight's dinner. You guys get a look at that in about an hour when I pull it out to baste it. I purposely just basted it right now just so that you guys didn't get to see it until a little bit later. Also going to be making some pasta tonight with a bunch of fresh veggies. Welcome in, DJ Greenlight. Glad to have you. Glad to see you. Nan Reader, hope both of you doing well. Let me see, what all do we got going here? I do not have this going yet. Let's get Stream Raiders going. And first thing on the board here today is going to be getting pasta ready, because I'm going to have to make pasta for my pasta salad. Or, I'm saying pasta salad, but we're talking cooked noodles that aren't necessarily hot, tossed with oil, sesame oil. Our snap peas that I've got here, some cucumber, maybe that avocado. I'm still debating whether I want to cut into that. I still think that's a little firm for me. And some other goodies, some peppers and other good stuff. So that would be a great light salad to go along with our beau Ssam from Momofuku, which is a whole pork shoulder roasted here for 6 hours, along with lettuce cups, essentially, rice, and combination of sauces to go along with that. Should be a pretty good dinner tonight, guys. So like I said, I'm going to get started by doing the pasta. let's see here. Let's see if this will pull up for me. Start with a couple cups of flour, which I'm going to sift here just to make it a little bit easier on me. See, don't want that. That's rare time you get a little bit of a, looks like an actual piece of wheat. Made it through the whole sifting process. But more than, these days you don't find a lot of junk in there. That's sort of odd that you find anything at all sifting through it. It's much more of a, we're getting rid of those clumps. We're making that nice and soft. It's not compacted from sitting somewhere beforehand or in the containers wherever it's been shipping to get to you. So start with that. We'll add some salt and some other good stuff here. Eggs. Need eggs. Going to go with one whole egg and one egg yolk. Start with here. Cracking in the bowl, since I already gonna get the bowl dirty in order to separate the one yolk out there. Might as well use it for the one egg to just make sure that I don't get any shell in there too. I see that light quick flickering on me. Oh, hey, maybe I can put my earbud in. See if that works for me tonight. Usually it takes me restarting this. Let's see. Nope, nothing. Still not nothing. Still don't know why that isn't working. Well, let's see if that works now. Arrgh. Why you no worky earbuddies? Wow, those egg yolks are different colored from coming from the same batch of eggs. Why aren't you connecting? There we go. Now we got that. Let's try that there. That should be that. That should be that. Why am I still not getting anything in my earbuds? I'm just gonna skip it for tonight. Try and diagnose it again tomorrow. Not sure what's going on there. Not sure. I thought I had fixed it because I updated Voice Mirror Banana. But, oh. It was sort of weird. It stopped working like, it was a patch or something had broken something. Actually, most everything seemed to be broken yesterday. Or on Wednesday. Well, let's make some pasta here. We got our salt, we got our egg, we got our flour. Add a little olive oil, add a little spritz of water as well. That's definitely going to need another egg here. Or 2 or 3. Got it on the board even though I was trying to be careful. In fact, I'm gonna add 2. Don't need to show you guys an empty stove there. Not doing anything over there quite yet. Still perhaps... Yeah, we're a bit dry still. I'm going to add one more egg into this. I think one more egg yolk. Perhaps a bit of moisture too. So we're going to do a couple minutes in kneading here. Want to make sure and get this well incorporated. I think we're pretty good on our mixture here, actually. It was sticking a little bit there, but it is coming together quite nicely now that I start kneading it. So this I'm going to roll and do, I don't know, should I do more of a linguine style or should I do the angel hair style for cutting it? Thinner or thicker? I'm going to do peppers. Yeah, let's do the avocado in there too. The cucumber, the snow peas, and maybe some corn, maybe some onion. Maybe I'll saute up a little corn and onion and throw it in with all that loveliness. Corn and onion. Let's skip the corn and onion because that's not going to match with everything else. That's just going to be added. Oops. Stay still, board. Guess I'm getting a late night delivery tonight. Because I'm not, I was expecting to get something earlier today. And, it says it's on its way, but it's almost 5 o'clock and it's not here. That doesn't, I mean, I know they say, they'll deliver as late as 8 o'clock, but I don't think I've ever really gotten a delivery later than 5, and other than a really odd, random, oh, we forgot this, still want to get it out today thing. We are getting there, starting to smooth out a bit. Hey, DJ. Yeah, just about done kneading our pasta dough here. Starting to look nice and smooth compared to when I started, but still not quite there. Still ripping and tearing a bit, but considerably smoother. It seems like you sneeze and they want you to restart. Oh yeah. The same time, pasta is one I might skip on that, but yes, you can. That is, if I had a dough hook. Current dono goal. Now we're getting real close, because, yeah, we're getting there. I wish I could just give you guys smell-o-vision with what's going on in that oven right now. It's just gonna be gorgeous. But 6 hours at 300 degrees. Basting on the regular. Alright, I'm going to live with that for right now. Going to allow this to rest. Clean up the board. We'll work on chopping some veggies, I guess. Oh, and I didn't post a going live tweet, so I should go and do that now. Or rather, I should do that now. There we go. Going live tweet posted. And my notifications were probably screwed up today because apparently I wrote out my titles but didn't submit them until after I started the stream, so that was fun. So welcome, this is not the grand tour watch party that I had this morning. Now we're going to be snapping off the ends on these guys. Yeah. I never know about the best way about going about these. I always end up just doing what I'm going to do now. Is just taking a knife to them. Because you take your fingers and you try and pull them off, and you can get the strings off of them too, which are less of a thing for me than the hard ends on there. But I just end up doing that after trying a couple of them typically and going, yep, this is going to be quicker. make it for a nice sort of summery note with the contrast to the deep, heavy pork for dinner tonight. Even though we're serving the pork in lettuce wraps. One of those things that's supposed to be delivered tonight is the After 8 mints, which they were projecting to be not available until Sunday. Until apparently this morning they're like, it's on a truck. I don't know if I believe that right now. Peas always have such a distinct smell to them. I sort of wonder if that's maybe the thing that pushes a few people to not like them. Is that scent rather than their actual, what I think is lovely flavor. Either case, they're going to create a ton of freshness for this pasta salad or pasta dish. We'll get rid of you. We'll get rid of you. Something's been munching on you guys. On those guys, rather. Oh, we can turn this back on too. If we got any word scramble fans in chat. Or wait a minute, did I just change that up? I just did that wrong, I think. Yeah, I did that wrong. Turned it off in the wrong place and not on in the right place. There we go. So now the word scramble should be on once every 5 minutes. Which you can join by typing scramble when it pops up, or you can actually start it ahead of time if you guys want right now. Let those drain out a little while. Gonna need a bowl to mix our pasta all up in. Then I might as well get started. Use to hold our veggies here. Gonna start with cucumber. Remove the seeds, which you don't have to do. It's a sort of a textural choice. I've always been told to do it in restaurants, so I just sort of automatically do it myself here at home. But plenty of people enjoy just chomping down on a whole cucumber too. Cucumber is going to give us a ton of freshness too. Got a bunch of strays in there that I missed towards the end here. Got a little sloppy with things moving around. I was trying to cut too much of it at once towards the end. Should have split it into two towards the end. We got a cucumber. Do I want it? No, let's skip that. Definitely gonna add some green onion in there. Definitely gonna add some paprika in there. I don't normally buy these peppers like this. These got small guys, so they're usually not a good deal. But when I was ordering online tonight, bell peppers, $2.99 a pound, which is not cheap for bell peppers either. But or this for $2.99 a pound, and much rather have a little variety. And the seeds on these guys are pretty inconsequential. Hey, Big Davey, welcome in. How you doing tonight? So we'll do some thin slices of pepper for in there, and just throw it all in there raw. There's a bunch of seeds. You can take a little bit out there, but I'm not going to worry too much about these guys. I mean, they're also so young that the seeds are pretty tender in itself. So, been pretty good, Big Davey. Wishing or hoping my family does well. I've got some people in my family that aren't all that great, but that's another thing entirely. I'm here making a great dinner full of pork. And I felt compelled to somehow make it somehow healthier sounding. And so here I am making a pasta salad with a bunch of veggies. I'm wishing that I could hear the music that you guys are listening to. Because I don't even really care what the music is, just a little beat or something would be nice. Debating that onion again. Might put a little raw onion in this. I mean, it's all pretty potent flavors already to begin with. Oh, Metro! Welcome in, everyone! Hey, Raiders. Thank you for the raid, Metro. How is everyone? I've got quite the impressive dinner going tonight. Got a whole pork shoulder sitting in the oven. It's been cooking since, about noon. So, we're gonna have 6 hours of cooking on this pork shoulder by the time we're done. That's gonna be Momofuku style Ssam, which I'm probably mispronouncing, and do that with lettuce wraps. And this, I started a batch of fresh pasta. I'm going to do a fresh pasta and light veggie sesame oil dish. And also going to do a little rice here too. The rice is more for the pork, and this is more as a side. Thank you for that follow, Stinkto. Hey, Nith. Yeah, those are some weird carrots, aren't they? They're sort of short, too. And hollow. Oh, wait, those are peppers. Oh, come on, there we go. So I wasn't sure what size pasta I should do for this. What do you guys think? I've got a cutter that'll allow me to do a linguine style. I've got another cutter that'll let me do a angel hair. Or not quite angel hair, but pretty thin. Thinner than spaghetti. And if you guys want to get on, I've got a scramble going on here every 5 minutes. You can type scramble in the chat right now, and the winner gets some sprinkles. Sprinkles are my currency here in chat that is based off of user participation, viewing, watching, rating, that sort of good stuff. All of you guys should have gotten a nice little chunk of sparks or sprinkles. Sparks. Sprinkles. For Metro's lovely raid. Let me see if that popped off and said that. Yeah, that went and gave everyone 32 sprinkles. Give those a quick rinse off here. This is the first bunch of several bunches of green onions I've got for tonight. I bought 4 bunches of green onions just for tonight's dinner. Of course, at the farmer's market, that would have been 1 bunch. Or maybe 2. I miss the farmer's market. I haven't been going back lately because, well, COVID. And other issues. My truck isn't in the greatest health right now. I need to get that fixed. Been procrastinating on that. Judging by the rest of that, I'm going to throw all that cucumber in there. I got some snow peas that I also trimmed earlier. And let's see. I'm going to stop at the peppers there. What else do I want to throw in with this? Yeah, let's throw you in here, but I'm going to wait on this until the very end. The avocado is going to go in there, but at the end. Once the pasta is done chilling out and rolled out, let's finish off this cucumber like I was saying. stumped on that one. And I wrote the dictionary. Chilotole. Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't have been able to guess that one. Okay, I lied. I'm going to put the avocado in here, but I'm going to also juice a lime into this whole mixture. Add some salt and let it all hang out. It is a bit firmer than I would like, but it'll be okay. I mean, that looks delicious just by itself, but we're going to make that even better here. I thought I knew that one right off. Now I'm not so sure I know what that word is. Need that a bit later. Got ourselves some salt. A little bit of olive oil. Oh, I guess it was pumpernickel. Welcome back, Doomation. How you doing tonight? Nope, same mic. Different setup. Well, at least software-wise, different setup. But not too different either. What all am I throwing in here? A little sherry vinegar. With a nice open cap on it, basically. Nice, Doomation. And last thing here is our flavor oil. We had a bunch of toasted sesame oil in here. Oops, cracked black pepper too. Lots of fresh, bright green flavors in here. Definitely not a... I know we're pretty much in the dead of winter here now, but or at least the beginnings of the dead of winter. But nice summer salad here. Well, the problem is I can't, because the only thing I can smell is what loveliness is in that oven, which you guys now finally get to see for the first time because I need to baste it a second time here. So we're going to switch to that scene there. We're going to turn the mute symbol off because it's on like half of them, half my scenes now. Yeah, so let's show you guys this pork shoulder that's been roasting all day. I started this by curing this yesterday in salt and sugar. Brushing the majority of that salt and sugar off before putting it here in the oven, and it has been chilling here in the oven since noon and looks more delicious every time I pull it out, because that's, yeah. We're not there yet though, but it's over a period of time. Like, this is going to be meals for pretty much now through Christmas. So that's all you guys get to see for right now. We'll go back to the board now. That has still got, well, It's got another half hour until it's got 6 hours on it. But I think I'm going to have to give it at least another half hour past that. So, but, yeah. Needs a bit more salt. Next on the list of things, need a pot of water going. There we go. Avocado could have used a little bit longer, but it's smooth enough that it seemed thicker when I was cutting it. We'll fill up the water on the stove here, and then I'll get to rolling that dough here that's been resting. Shouldn't have risen any. I mean, there's no yeast here, but resting will allow those. Essentially, when you're kneading, you're taking your gluten proteins, which are rolled up little balls, and you're essentially spreading them out into long strings and aligning them all together. And you're slowly turning that into almost like a twine or a yarn, and that's where you get your strength in your doughs. Is those proteins expanding out into fibers, and so you can expand them out into fibers, but then they sort of need to rest and relax in order to be more pliable again. And that's what we're doing right now, is we're giving a little bit more time to be more pliable, easier to work with for when we roll it out. And so it's a little bit more tenderized. Should get the roller out while that's filling up again. Oh, there we go. I lucked out with that. Meant to do that. That would be good for our pasta water. Need a flame on that though. And I think it's time to have a drink. So you don't want to point towards anything you're really worried about when you're doing this, because they can go off, and they have gone off on me before. As he looks at his dirty ceiling. Make sure your cage is released and pull out of the way. And oftentimes they'll start going all on its own. Other times you give it a slight twist and it'll go. Decided to give a slight twist too. And still spilled all over the place. Yay! Look at the ceiling again. Yes! Yes! This is a summer cuvee, so it's I think it's a slightly tinted. Oh, no, it doesn't look very tinted at all. Maybe slightly tinted rosé. It's mostly a white. Doesn't have the best perlage that I've seen coming from their wines, but not all. We got a decent little bubble going on there, but that ain't super sparkly. Ooh, this is good. Just straight off. I mean, sweet fruit. Crisp, acidic. Yeah, it's not so. It's not the prettiest champagne in a glass I've seen, but that's tasty. I'm gonna enjoy that. That's gonna go well with all of this. So we got a flame going on that. Got that going with that. Pasta time. So I'll ask one more time in chat here. What do you guys think? Linguine style, or thinner, sort of in between spaghetti and angel hair for our pasta here tonight? Yeah, this dough is nice. I like this dough. This turned out pretty well. Cool. So. Don't know what that is, but I don't want it in my pasta. Yeah, this is gonna roll out great. Give this one a second roll. Fold it together on the wetter side. Okay, let's just get rid of this. A little bit of Formula One news today. I don't know. I don't think really any of you guys follow Formula One. But now have check out for sure going to be with Racing Point, or for sure going to be with Red Bull, which was sort of anticipated. I mean, some people were pulling for Albon, but he just didn't perform. You got Ineos buying a 1/3 share in the Mercedes team. So you have a new partner in the Mercedes team, and also ensuring that Toto Wolff is staying the boss of Mercedes for another 3 years. And it sounds like they signed Hamilton, although they haven't announced it. They sort of hinted at that on Twitter on last night. And them hinting that on Twitter, and I think Red Bull signing Checo, I think Red Bull were really only leaving the door open as a possibility. Hey, friend Rush, welcome in. How you doing tonight? We're drinking some very tasty bubbly that I'm really enjoying. I'm only like 3 or 4 sips into that, and I really like that. Got a nice salad here that we're making up, or a pasta dish, whichever you want to call it, of avocado, snow pea, pepper, sweet pepper, and green onion. Then I'm going to toss with the pasta that I'm making here. And I've got a gorgeous looking pork shoulder that has been roasting in the oven for 5.5 hours or so now. Which, the photos for what I did ahead of time before throwing it in the oven are on Twitter. Going to be somewhat attempting the Momofuku recipe for both Ssam. Which I'm probably butchering the name for because I haven't heard anyone pronounce it. Yeah, I gave everyone a little bit of a peek here around 30 after, and it's going to be in there a little while longer before I pull it back out again. How are we doing on our battle? We probably have to do a battle, don't we? Oh, hey! We've updated the game. Let's update the game here and play our battle. I apologize, guys. I don't have my earphone in, so I'm not hearing any of my proper alerts. I'm not hearing what's going on. So that's something I've been having issues here with the last 2 streams and have to remedy. No, everything but share my PC specs with you guys. Every time. Two N's and an M in that word. Really, game? Oops. Go to meeting. Come on, game. Let's go, game. Oh, hey, it's just me. Let's see me lose. Yay. Actually, I'm curious if I'm going to make it through that. If I'm going to pick them off one by one, I might make it through this. Uh-oh, I may do this solo. May not need you guys. Wow. Victory. So you guys can go ahead and put your stuff wherever you want. I'm going to put this rogue here so he goes straight to the back. Kitchen is hot tonight. If you haven't noticed, I'm sweating a little bit. Just a little bit. Had to stop there because sweat was literally getting into my eyes and burning. Now we need to dry them because we're dealing with the pasta. We don't want super wet hands with working with this. And yeah, I'm going to take another sip of that awesome wine because this stuff is good. Nice light yeasty smell to the scent of it, but I find almost all sparklings have a very strong yeast note to their nose. Oh, I haven't exhausted outside here. It's going through the top here, but... And I could turn it up higher, but... The real thing is I don't really have an AC or anything in the house to help regulate the house temp, and so what happens is because this house is a rather well insulated house, it sits and soaks up heat all day, and then in the early evening, like right now, the house is still hot from the day before, and it just gets to be too much. But I think we're okay there. Gonna go down another size here. I am gonna fold these one more time before we're done. Very happy with this dough once again. I know I'm sounding a little repetitive there, but for being a dough that I just sort of eyeballed the eggs with, I'm quite happy with. Probably had to be. I've lived here basically like a decade now, or over a decade now. But when I moved in, it was only a year or two old. So. Let's do a fold and then back on that same size again. Minus the green onions, whatever picked up somehow. I could also just open a window, but at the same time, I don't want to sit here and be talking about my cooking and sounding like a weirdo to my neighbors, who probably already think I'm weird. I've made wheat pasta a couple of times. It's considerably more work to it because you're dealing with a grain that's typically got a bit more protein to it. It's more elbow grease. I think this is going to be the last roll through for these this time. Going to leave them a little bit thicker tonight. And I think I'm going to go for the linguine style size, because I think the thinner noodle might be too thin with those snow peas in there. Alright, now cutting time. How we looking at our water? Our water almost to a boil, not quite there. You know what, I'm going to take a quick pause here before we slice all this pasta. I'm going to get our rice going for dinner tonight. What time are you getting to be? Is it time to... And so I'm completely screwing up this recipe at this point, where I'm going to be using jasmine, or basmati rather, long grain rice. Should be using short grain rice for this one. And it's also good if you actually measure what you're doing. I don't know what I'm doing here, Jay. What you're doing here, Jay. 2 cups of rice. Should be good enough here for a couple dinners here with this. So we'll add go. 4 cups of water, bunch of soy sauce, we need a juiced lime for our sauce a bit later here, so we'll juice the lime and throw the lime rind in our rice. Give our rice all that lovely lime flavor. One of my favorite hacks to do is when you're using citrus, something along that line. I mean, use all of it. Hopefully not squirt it all over the pasta, which I've been successful with so far. Oops. Almost just went and threw that in the trash instead of what I was intended to do with it. Or rather, compost, not the trash. I do compost. There we go. Hey, glass. Doing well. Doing well. Let's throw some garlic and some... I'm going to throw a little bit of salt in here. That's like maybe a half teaspoon. And a few shakes of MSG. We need some... do I want to do garlic cloves or whole... I'm going to throw a little garlic powder in there. If you guys are interested in trying to join the scramble, you can type scramble right now. Yep, it's a whole roasted pork shoulder. We got pasta that I'm rolling out here that's going to go with our fresh veggies here. This is going to be a sesame and fresh veggie pasta salad or pasta dish. I'm going to probably try and eat this warm with the warm pasta tonight. But that pasta, when I throw it in there warm, tomorrow it's going to get all that great flavor from all this. This is going to be amazing for lunch tomorrow. Then we got the lettuce cups, we got the sauce here that I just started, and the rice, which I'm just getting going here too. So we'll throw a lid on that and say goodbye to that for 10 minutes or so. We don't need this just yet, so I'm going to get this out of my way for the moment. That is sort of out of my way at the moment. And Gonna cut my pasta. For this dish, there is no seasoning on this pork. It's cured with salt and sugar overnight, and then it's just roasted for 6 hours. It's just gorgeous pork. Gorgeous pork. I didn't rinse, I brushed it off. At least on the fat cap. But it's a whole pork shoulder, a cup of sugar, a cup of salt. You throw that in the fridge overnight, or at least 8 hours. And then it's 6+ hours. I'm probably going to do at least 6.5 here tonight. 300 degrees in the oven. With this lovely stuff. Not quite there with that yet. I need something to store these guys in so that they don't stick to each other. Add a bit of flour so they don't stick to each other. It's uncovered in there. And I've been basting it about once an hour, if not a little bit more. The first hour or two, there wasn't really enough fat or anything that would come off of the shoulder that allowed me to do that. But once it got rolling, regular basting, get you all that beautiful color on the top of it. I'm just tossing all this pasta and some flour here so that it looks nice. And because okay, I'm good on my main. Everything giving me headaches here this last week or so. My stream deck's all messed up, and my voice meter banana's all messed up. So I can't hear my alerts, I can't tell everything that's going on in chat as much as I would like to. I don't get to hear the music either. Come on, cut. There we go. Took a little while to get that one to start cutting clean and straight. Yeah, I must have the motorcycle gang going through town. It's not really that loud. There's probably just one or two, but So there we got our pasta for a little bit later. Got our rice going. Is our rice boiling yet here? Nope. Time to drink some more tasty bubbly. Hi, Suki. I think so too. This dinner's looking really good right now. I've been sort of looking forward to this one for a while, so this is one of the ones that I've been sort of like, I wish I had hyped it up a little bit more because of how excited I am about it. I didn't really say much about it. But I actually know some people that work for him, and I haven't talked to them in years, and so I wouldn't think to, oh hey, I'm making this dish, you know, but I do want to give it some proper love because who may be seeing it. So I'm going to make the sauce here for this now. This is the sauce for with our this is the ginger scallion sauce here. And actually that might be too small. I don't have much more in the way of bigger bowls for that right now. Oh, wow. That can't be right. Screw your paywall. Wow, it is. Alright, so we're going to be dealing with ginger for a little while here. I'm going to do up all of this ginger. In order to join the game, you gotta type scramble at the beginning when it's open. But if you join, there's no cost to join, and you get sprinkles for getting the right answer. Sprinkles being my channel currency based non-monetary so that I can reward my viewers, my regulars. I got a number of things planned here for the future and being a little secretive about them right now, so there's a huge momentum for you guys to collect sprinkles, but it's worth your time. Don't want those bigger pieces of skin going in there. Hey, you got it. You say you're not good with words. You got that one. Ah. Thankfully, most of that landed in the bowl. A lot of ease. How's our battle doing? Is our battle ready here? Like I said, I don't have my alerts. I don't know where we're at with that. I'll get another 2 minutes left. Okay. Vegetable. Soy sauce. Oh, that's boiling, so we can turn that off now. Nice. Okay, Google. 10-minute timer.
Sure. 10 minutes, and that's starting now.
Hey, Becca. Welcome back. 1.5 teaspoons. Working on making the sauce for our pork here tonight. Got all sorts of ginger loveliness going on here. And a little soy sauce, a little lime. Welcome in, Yamachi. Yummy. Apologize, I'm probably going to mispronounce that however I say it. I'm glad to have you in here. We up to a boil yet for our water? Not quite. Let's turn that up a bit more. Neutral oil, 1/4 cup. So, vinegar, sherry vinegar there. And last thing to go into this is the scallions, but we're going to give this a good whisking before we get into dealing with the scallions for this. Good stuff. potent stuff. So this is ginger and scallion sauce, so we need some scallions. Some people may not call these scallions. They're green onions, but like I said, I bought 4 bunches of these just for this dinner. We're going to put 2 of them in this sauce. That's not going to be much of a sauce, but... Stumped on that one. You guys didn't luck out with one of the shorter ones. Carbohydrate, okay. That was one of the longer ones. There's some that are even longer than that, though. I know monounsaturated is in there. So all of this stop. It's going in there. Aww. Silly bot. Should it work if I do this? Well, that didn't work. That didn't work either. Let's see if I can do it directly in the bot. Oh, we got boiling water for our pasta here finally. Nice. I cannot find you in the bot. I apologize for that. I don't know how I can give you points for that. Awesome. So we got our boiling water going for our pasta. Gonna go ahead and throw in all of our lovely long pasta here. Except, I don't really want long, giant pieces of pasta for this dish, so I'm going to cut this up. Kinko. Just the basic stuff, not... It doesn't qualify it as tamari. So, a little bit smaller pieces of pasta. Some of them are still pretty long here. But Traditionally brewed. Nope, doesn't say tamari. Just cheapo soy sauce. Pull this guy off of there, throw him out there while he continues to hang out even though he's done. Move our veggies over here so they're easy to dump that pasta into. Some people are probably wondering what the heck is wrong with me because I'm using peas without bacon. Let that hang out. Nice cook on those noodles. Nice job on those. That's tasty. Gonna add a bit more sesame oil to the party and a bit more salt. Toasted sesame oil. All right, and so there's our pasta. Deliciousness. Yum, yum, yum. I like that. That's. I haven't had something like that in quite a while. I needed that. That's good. All right, so I think it's at least basting time here again. So let's see how our pork shoulder is doing out there. Put the lid back on this. Actually, we'll get rid of this water so I don't have to take a steam bath the rest of the evening here. So let's take a look at this shoulder. Isn't that sexy? That's just pretty to me. Hey there, welcome in. Glad to have you here. We're doing, obviously, roast pork shoulder. I'm going to throw this back in the oven here for another 30 minutes or so until we're ready for that deliciousness. We got our ginger scallion goodness here. Got a delicious glass of bubbly. It is the pork shoulder. So if you were to take a pig, it would be the first forequarter. So from the base of the neck to essentially the back of the front leg. And then it's the bottom half of that quarter. You take the shank off, and then the bottom half is your pork shoulder. It's the part that has the bone, like mine has, sticking out, the actual top part to the arm. And the top part to that doesn't have the arm attachment but is the front of the pig is actually the pork butt. We're using the pork shoulder tonight. So you may see it in the store labeled as pork butt because they don't know any better. But it is the piece with the actual leg bone coming down out of it, but is still part of the shoulder group. Sort of odd that they call the front part of the pig the butt, but that's one I'm not even sure what that word means. And I wrote it. There's only a couple of them in there that I think I wouldn't know. Most of them are foreign language ones. Let's see, let's look that one up. I got the cheats here nice and ready. A soft, unripened cheese originally from Newfoundland. It's a location in France. Name of a cheese named after a location in France. Has a fat content 44 to 48%. Also available as a low-fat cream cheese in the U.S. Well, we have a pasta salad or a pasta dish. This is still warm pasta in there with just raw fresh veggies. We got peppers and snow peas and cucumber and avocado in here, along with our pasta, some sesame oil, and some other seasoning going on. That's going to be one of our sides. We got our ginger scallion sauce. It's going to go with our, and then it's just basically the pork shoulder with that. The pork shoulder, we're going to eat it in lettuce wraps with a little ginger scallion sauce, a little, and a little gochujang. Good stuff. But this one's a pretty, I mean, just the pork shoulder itself is enough food for me, I think. Oh, not I think, it is. I haven't opened this yet. How is this open? There we go. Fresh container gochujang, because I use this stuff all the time. Oh, not really. Oh, interesting. They got some sort of packet on the inside here to try and help keep freshness with it. That's cool. Like, it's got like a, I don't know, like a silica pack or something that's actually like layered into the plastics of the lid. Aren't there always? Oops, let's switch that around so you can actually see what I'm doing. We got even more scallions to chop up here, but I'm just going to do the greens on here because we're just going to use these for garnish. It's sort of my big special holiday dinner for myself here. I'm going to do dinner here on the for Christmas, more out of tradition, but that's going to be more like simple comfort food. This is sort of my splurge for the holiday dinner. And save the rest of this for some other project later in the fridge. Yep, I stream here 3 nights a week. Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. Fridays and Sundays, I sort of do whatever catches my fancy, whatever is interesting. It used to be I did all 3 days. I go to the farmers. I live in Sonoma County, and so there's farmers markets here all the time, all year round. And before this year, I would go to the farmers markets, find out what's interesting, and come home and cook. Nowadays, I'm doing Fridays and Sundays with a pre-planned schedule. You can find all sorts of upcoming dates now through the end of the year down below. And on Wednesdays, I do ingredient challenge dinners. I'm actually making up for one of them here on Sunday. So Sunday, I'm going to be cooking with, if you're familiar with After 8 biscuits or dinner mints. They're a chocolate biscuit with a mint flavor out of the UK. I couldn't get them shipped to me in time for Wednesday, so I'm doing it on Sunday instead. And actually, if you join in the Discord right now, there's a vote going on between bugles, which corn chips type, if you're not from the US, don't know how internationally they are. They change things up from country to country, all sorts of things. But they're a corn chip, or and they're competing against candy corn. And so next Wednesday, I'll have to make dinner and dessert, so both sweet and savory, using either whichever wins. Right now we have a tied race between bugles and candy corn. Or at least it was tied when I started the stream. Let's give this gochujang a try. See how spicy it is. And always at 4:30 Pacific. So I've been streaming here for, what time is it right now? 6:48. So I've been streaming about a little over 2 hours right now. I start pretty much like clockwork. I'm pretty set on my schedule. I occasionally do extra things. I did an extra stream this morning doing a watch party, just sort of trying that out for once. So yeah, trying to keep things fun and interesting and new and different. But yeah, I just cook. What am I missing for tonight's dinner other than our lettuce cups? That is the wrong recipe. Our rice is here. I'll give you guys a look at our rice here. That is our basmati with lime and a little garlic seasoning. Those limes keep the heat pretty well. I want to add a little bit more soy sauce so that darkness in there is from the soy. It's from the soy. Oh yeah, Suki, I love it. It's one of my favorite hacks. Is just, I mean, if you guys noticed, I already juiced that lime. It's just the rind and the leftover pith that I threw in there. This is all. We're not worried about me contaminating this with my dirty fork because this is all eventually going in my stomach, so I wouldn't have thrown this fork back in here if I was cooking for someone else. But yeah, I absolutely love doing that, Suki. It's a great hack. Whether you're doing Asian foods where you got a lot of citrus in them, or Mexican foods, both cases you're typically making rice, and it works well. So put the lid back on that, let that stay warm as best we can. And what am I missing other than oysters? I'm not doing the oysters with this dinner. That is the dish. It's a lettuce wrap with some of our ginger scallion sauce, pork, an oyster, and our sauce, the Ssam sauce. Which I'm thinking I'm just gonna, as far as home hack, not being a restaurant, not wanting to serve this in separate dishes to make it all look nice, I'm just gonna add my gochujang into the ginger scallion and just mix it all in together. Oh yeah, and this is also typically with short grain, but I have basmati and I didn't feel like buying short grain just for this dish. The other sauce that goes with this is the gochujang and Ssam, or what are the two? Sesame and gochujang. I apologize. I am absolutely butchering my Korean here. I do not know Korean, but they're a combination of a chili paste and a fermented bean paste. I'm just mixing that in there tonight. But typically it's two separate sauces. You have your ginger and scallion sauce, and you have your Ssam sauce. So, lazy hacks. I am in Sonoma County, California, 3NZ, and welcome to the channel. Glad to have you. And I'm forgetting our battle that is most certainly ready. We gonna win it? Rogues versus... Yeah! Way to go. Victory. Metro with the wins and the assists, or the kills and assists. Oh, took out half of his army. Oh, and I forgot to change the gold on that. I should have changed the gold on that for you guys. We'll do one last battle here tonight. As usual... Oh, wrong character. I want to put my tank out there for this one, yeah. Alright. So we got our sauces ready. We got that ready. We got this deliciousness sitting here on the counter. I'm not worrying if it's really all that hot because, I mean, the heat is mostly going to unlock the flavor from everything else here, and so it's just going to make it better the longer it sits, whether it's hot or cold. So we'll leave that like that. Let's take a look at our pork here and see if I want to stop with that tonight. See if we want to let this rest. Yep, I think the answer is yes. I think we're done with this pork for tonight. I don't know how well that comes across on screen, but that is just gorgeousness to me. I'm going to take some photos of that. Lettuce wraps. So this is not the appropriate type of lettuce. This is the closest type of lettuce that I could get on this for notice. I'm going to use a butter lettuce. It's going to have nice cuppy lettuce leaves. So now we got our nice little lettuce leaf cups. It's actually sort of nice. Even like when we get to the center here, these are still pretty decent size leaves for making a little hand taco out with our pork. How can no one guess that one? But like, even that guy, you can put a little mini taco, make a little mini taco out of him. So now the question is, how do I want to go about breaking into this pork? The question is, can I just squish the stuff and it come apart? I don't think it's that soft. Thank you for that follow, 3NZ. Yeah, we do have some thickness there. I'm going to let this sit here. This needs to rest a good 10 minutes here. I'm rushing things here. I don't need to rush this. I'm going to sit here and enjoy a little bubbly for a moment. And say, hey, what's going on interesting in your worlds tonight? Nice. Yep, PST Pacific. So, right here in California. Meanwhile, I'll take a quick moment here and glad to have you. See who's online tonight. See who can't give a follow to a little bit later here. ENZ? Or ENZ? ENZ or ENZ? Been meeting all sorts of people from New Zealand lately. It's a tiny island with lots of streamers, apparently. Oh wow, it's already 7 o'clock? Wow. Nice, nice, nice. Northern California. Sonoma is certainly wine territory. It's not the farthest north that you can go, but it's a good 2 hours or so, hour and a half north of San Francisco. We typically get bunched up with the Bay Area, even though we're that far away. We're not really part of the Bay Area, but people count us as part of it. I sort of cringe at the idea of thinking of us as Bay people because it's just two different worlds. The Bay is so tight and congested. There's so much going on in the Bay Area, which I appreciate, but it's not my world. It's not what I'm interested in. I got my full-size pickup, and I do not want to drive my full-size pickup in San Francisco. If you've ever driven in San Francisco, you probably know what I mean. You got probably some of the narrowest lanes of any major city I've been in, and I've lived in New York, and I've lived in LA, and I've lived in Detroit. The narrow roads, the twisty-turny. San Francisco is just not a fun city to drive. It's not designed to be a drivable city either, too. It's got such great public transport that most of the people that I know do or have lived in the city just don't even have cars. Oh, no one with the guess a heart. How crushing. So let's see what we got here. Let's see if I can do this. It almost wants to pull out on its own. I need room for this. This is one of only two good uses for these things. Tried to fall apart on me. Well, it only had here to fall. But, yeah. Oh, and you're not seeing that with the big screen. Oh. Yeah. This is some nicely cooked pork here. Where's my knife? Have a great night, Jens. Thanks for stopping by. Once again, glad to have you. Hey, Bodita. Welcome. Okay. So, this is how this works. Minus the oil spilling everywhere. Let's get the juice contained here on the board. Alright, so we got our lettuce leaf, some of our pork here, some of our gochujang and scallion ginger sauce, a few extra scallions on top for color. Take a photo of this deliciousness. See how this works. Me likey. That's damn good. The crust on that. Oh, so dense. Such a deep, like, umami flavor off of that crust. Yum. Awesome. So let's see how we're doing our last battle here. Got another 14 minutes on that bad boy. I think I am going to call it a night. We'll run the last one here after the stream. Yes, Ssam is more the sauce than it is this deliciousness. This is just some delicious roast pork. But, the lettuce wraps, all that good stuff. Everything Momofuku has done has been a major impact on the food world in the last... Well, it's now sort of gone and past at this point. It sort of had its peak, but Momofuku has definitely had its impact in the food industry. And maybe you know David Chang instead of Momofuku, but both are big names in the food world these days. Let's see who we can give a raid to here tonight and say hello to. I think that's a good choice here for the evening. No, that's not what I wanted to do. That's not what I wanted to do either. There we go. There we go. I'm gonna send you guys off to Mr. Horologist. He's raided me in the past. He's I enjoy watching his stream quite a bit. Gonna be not sure what watch he's working on tonight. But I enjoy watching him take them apart, watching all the mechanics, all the small little bits and parts come apart and go back together all nice and clean. I want to thank you guys all for joining me tonight. Like I said, we'll be back here on Sunday. I'm going to have to use After 8 chocolate biscuits for both dinner and dessert on Sunday. And on Wednesday, I'll be back. You can go on Discord. Links are in the chat. If you want to join in the Discord, you can make your own choice whether I should be trying to work next Wednesday with Bugles or candy corn. So that should be fun too. Thank you for joining me. After that, we're going to be doing holiday stuff, so that's all pretty much set in stone at this point. Thank you all for joining me. I hope you all have a great night. Bye-bye now.